Let's talk about programming. But I'm not talking about computers. What if the most important code ever written for a human being happens before they're even born, inside the womb? What if we could actually program a healthier, happier, and more intelligent future for the next generation? Well, that's the incredible idea we're diving into today.
And this, right here, is the heart of it all. It's about shifting our entire perspective, looking at pregnancy not as just, a 9-month waiting game, but as the most critical developmental window in a person's entire life. It's about becoming a conscious architect of human potential from the very beginning.
And the scale of this, well, it's just staggering. Every single day, around 385,000 babies are born across the globe. That's 385,000 opportunities every day to apply this kind of conscious programming, to nurture not just a new life, but a whole new future.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the hidden power of the womb itself. Then, we'll see where modern science and ancient wisdom are saying the exact same thing. We'll explore a fascinating map of human existence, introduce the human intelligence algorithm, and finally, see what this all looks like in the real world.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1 and uncover the incredible and honestly often overlooked influence of the prenatal environment.
So, what's really fascinating here is the gap this slide points out. Of course, conventional prenatal care is absolutely essential. It focuses on the physical stuff, the hardware, you could say, but it so often misses the software. Things like a mother's stress levels, her thoughts, even her sleep schedule. These aren't just passing feelings or routines. They're powerful signals that are actively programming the baby's developing brain and nervous system.
And that brings us to this really cool intersection, a place where modern, cutting-edge science is basically catching up to what ancient traditions have known for thousands of years. This isn't just philosophy or wishful thinking. Ancient practices like Garbha Sanskar were all about educating the mind of the unborn child. Sages just knew there was this deep connection, and now modern science is coming in with hard evidence to back it all up. Let's take a look at some of the key scientific ideas here.
First up is a big one, epigenetics. The easiest way to think about it is this. Your DNA is the hardware, right? Well, epigenetics is the software that tells that hardware which programs to run. A mother's environment, her diet, her emotions. They act like a programmer, literally flipping gene switches on or off in her baby. It's shaping their health for the rest of their life.
Then you've got neuroplasticity. The brain is most plastic, or moldable, like clay, in early development. So the experiences in the womb, they're like the first sculptor, physically carving out the baby's neural circuits. These foundational pathways end up influencing everything from how they handle stress to their ability to learn.
And this all leads to the Dohad hypothesis, which really puts a spotlight on the long-term stakes. It directly connects the environment in the womb to a person's health as an adult. It suggests that this early period can actually program a person's risk for things like heart disease, obesity, and diabetes decades down the line.
And the evidence just keeps piling up from all these different fields. You have theories like Dr. Rupert Sheldrake's suggesting a mother's thoughts create a morphogenetic force that could shape up to 80% of a baby's character. Then you have more established science like fetal circadian entrainment, which shows a mother's sleep cycle literally teaches the baby's body clock when to sleep and wake. The field of teratology pinpoints the super-sensitive windows for brain development, and studies on vibroacoustic exposure confirm that sounds and music are actively shaping the fetal brain. It all points to the same thing. The womb is a dynamic classroom.
So we've got all this incredible science, right? But how do we organize it all? How do we create a practical approach? Well, let's jump to part 3 and see how an ancient framework gives us the perfect map. This is the Panch-Kosha model, and it comes from Vedic wisdom. It describes a human being not as just one thing, but as 5 interconnected layers, or sheaths. It starts with the physical body, the Annamaya Kosha. Then it moves to our energy or life force, the Pranamaya. Then our mind and emotions, our intellect and wisdom, and at the very core, our state of bliss or spirit. It's a complete blueprint of what it means to be human.
Now, having a map is one thing, but knowing how to use it is something else entirely. So part 4 introduces the system that's designed to translate this ancient wisdom into a modern, practical tool that anyone can use.
This is the Human Intelligence Algorithm, or HIA. Think of it as a daily framework that takes all the guesswork out of a conscious pregnancy. It uses the science of habit building, like a fitness app or a language learning app, to help parents consistently nurture all 5 of those koshas day in and day out.
This chart really says it all, doesn't it? Conventional care is great, but it tends to focus on the physical and intellectual quotients, our PQ and IQ. The HIA framework is so much more holistic. As you can see, it expands that focus to intentionally cultivate the emotional and spiritual quotients, EQ and SQ as well. It's about laying the foundation for a truly well-rounded human being.
So what does this actually look like in day-to-day life? Let's move to our final section and see how the human intelligence algorithm is actually put into practice.
This is where the theory becomes action. For the physical body, the Annamaya Kosha, it means things like prenatal yoga and a specific diet. For the energy body, Pranamaya, it's all about breathwork. For the mind, Manomaya, it's tools for emotional regulation. For wisdom, it's practices like visualization. And for that core bliss body, it's things like gratitude and chanting. Every single layer is intentionally nourished.
And the system makes it easy. It keeps parents on track with a gamified daily streak approach. It really emphasizes those golden hours from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. as this key time for rest and connection. And this is so important. It fully brings the partner into the process, so it becomes a shared, conscious journey. And it's all delivered through things like an app, workshops, and retreats.
And the impact here is just profound. You can see the ripple effect, right? It's not just for the child, who gets this incredible foundation of resilience and intelligence. It's for the parents, who get to have a more connected and meaningful pregnancy. And that strengthens the whole family, creating a positive legacy that can last for generations.
Which really leaves us with this one powerful question. If the womb truly is the world's first classroom, then what are we choosing to teach in it? Every day we're teaching lessons of stress or calm, of fear or love, of chaos or harmony. The curriculum is being written in real time, and we have the power to decide what goes into it.